I would walk in the apartment bathroom and catch my mom shooting up. And I think the first time that I did it, it was like really, really hard for me. Like I didn't know that my mom was doing this. I didn't know what was going on, and like it just distorted my view of my mother.
So I first met Devontez, it's probably been like 8 years ago, and I thought this kid's kind of crazy. He was very charismatic, very loving, friendly, kind, funny. Yeah, like all of these things. So, he didn't meet a stranger.
I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, to my mother, Amanda Tate. At the time, my father wasn't present. So this is the house that my mother and I lived in. Actually, the first night we moved in, my mom witnessed two guys shooting each other on this street. So she told me about that, and it scared the heck out of me. Like, it happened like right here, right in front of the house. Growing up with my mom, single mother, always working, I found out that she was having to sell herself or having to do things to guys to get money, to make ends meet, and to make rent, to get me clothing, to get me shoes, to get me food. I heard a couple of stories from her where she was actually raped. Guys held her at gunpoint, made her get naked. That tore me inside, that these men would take advantage of my mom, and that they would put their hands on her, and she had no control. And it sucked that my mom had to put herself on these websites where guys just scrolled through and just treated her like just an object. The guys didn't respect her at all. At age 8, my grandmother passed away. I saw pills on the counter the prior night. We went to sleep. The next morning we wake up and my grandmother's in the middle of the floor in the living room, and she passed away. That was the first incident that really made my mom transpire into drugs, heavily. All my family just went down that drug path, and I really did think I would end up like family members that overdosed on drugs. When I was about 13, I moved to Washington Street, and I met Crystal and her kids.
So the kids and Devontez connected almost immediately. They became friends. That's how I met them to begin with. And it was just their sibling. I wanted to get him out of the house almost immediately. When I first met them, I knew everyone pretty much in the family had some issues.
My mom had offered our house as sanctuary for them after Devontez and his mom had went through everything.
Devontez came to come stay with me, and then I found out a couple days later that Amanda was in jail and that she wasn't going to get out. We had planned for her to get out and spend Christmas with everybody. I said, when you get out, call me. Devontez is going to have a tournament, and we were going to go down there and surprise him. I don't know if he even knows that. And she didn't call me.
When I was at basketball camp, my mom called me, and I wanted to call her back, but I was I'm in the middle of a game, obviously, and coaches, if you're on your phone, you're gonna be in trouble. So I put away my phone and I didn't really bother to think about it. Then after the game, I tried to call her back and she did not answer. And Crystal's friend, Karen, came into the hotel where we were staying, and she bangs on the door and she comes in and she's like, Devontez, we have to go. So by the time we got to Indianapolis, downtown, I was like, I know it's my mom.
I went to the hospital first. I was just praying the whole way, and I'm like, God, no, don't do this. Don't do this. It was awful. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack because I have to tell this boy that his mom is gonna die.
We walked inside the hospital and saw my mom on life support. She had overdosed in a gas station bathroom, and it was just really, really hard to hear that beeping just fade out. Just knowing that my mom is just forever gone, knowing that I'll never be able to have a conversation with her again. happened, and this is around where she called me from, because she called me right before this happened, so it just kind of saddens me. If I were to have answered that phone call, I don't know if it could have led to her coming to my game and her not passing away. A lot of the times I'll go to Facebook Messenger, I have an accidental phone recording of her. It makes me cry, honestly.
You know what I mean? Even though they took all your information, there's still no record of it happening. This is not record. But I'm saying hundreds of thousands.
She accidentally butt dialed me, and that's the only thing I have of her voice.
No other videos or anything of her?
Nothing. Pictures. That's it. Like that. Gone. She was so excited for me to graduate high school. She was like so proud of it. She would always brag about me, and so I wish she would have been there for my graduation. I know she would have really, really, really loved it.
Devontez Tate.
So my friend Evan recommended that I go and apply for an Act 6 scholarship. I at first thought the idea was funny. I was never gonna end up at a small Christian school, but then Crystal and Evan both just like pushed me, so I was like, why not give it a chance? So I applied, and I ended up at Taylor on a full ride scholarship.
Devontez has impacted my life a lot. I got another son. I remember Nathan when he was young, he used to talk about wanting a brother. And I was like, well, I'm not having any more kids, you know, and he has all these sisters. And I think God knew the whole time that he had a brother for him. I just, you know, none of us knew it.
The second into the third year, he had lived with us. Him and I started hanging out together and got to know each other more, and we became not just brothers, but lifelong friends out of it. Now, when you think of the Evans bunch, Devontez is in there. He's part of us. When you think of me and my sisters, you don't think just Nate, Madison, and Kaylee anymore. You think Nate, Devontez, Madison, and Kaylee, you know? Because like Devontez and I come as like a bunch now, which is pretty cool.
His mom would be very proud of him. I wish she could be here for all of it. She instilled a lot of great things in him. He's a lot like his mom, regardless of the things that happened. She was really amazing. He's a lot like her.
I would devote 100% of my attention to like one more conversation with her. I would probably cry just seeing her in front of me, you know, just like being able to hug her again.